Hello 11th graders, this is Ms. Dana Atawi. Today we're going to begin with the grammar for Unit 8. If you have a look at your books, you're going to see that the grammar for Unit 8 is narrative tenses. Of course, today is the 2nd of April 2020 and today is a Thursday. Now, before we begin with talking about narrative tenses and how we're going to discuss them, I'd like you just to remember that when we talk about narrative tenses, the word narrative from the verb narrate. And narrate means to tell, okay, something. So basically, narrative tenses, we're talking about past tenses. I have here drawn a line, and you know that all of you are familiar with this line. It is called the time line. You're standing here, so basically this is the present moment. Anything that happens after the present, it is called future. Anything before the present, it is called past. Actually, we're talking about the past tenses, okay? Now, we have four main past tenses. So there are four brothers, let's say. The first one is called the simple past. I have written here certain examples. I called him yesterday. I graduated in 2003 and I lived here 3 years ago. Where's the verb? Called, graduated, and lived. If you have a look at the sentences, all of them, you're going to see that I have to mention a specific time. Yesterday, 2003, and 4 years or 3 years ago. So basically, the simple past is an action that happened and finished in the past. Very good. At a specific time. Now, when we continue about the past simple, it's an action or a verb that happened at a specific time in the past. So you should have a specific time in the past. And remember that I always use verb to: called, graduated, and lived. If you have a sentence like this, for example, he played football, your famous example. And so this is affirmative. You need to change it into negative. What do? He. I always use did, not. Did for the past simple. Remember that after did, the verb becomes base verb. So he didn't play football. Okay? If you have a look at the sentences here. I called him yesterday. Let's change it into negative. I didn't call him. I graduated in 2003. I didn't graduate. I lived here 3 years ago. I didn't live here 3 years ago. Let's move to the second narrative tenses اللي هم past tenses, past continuous. When I say past continuous معناته أنا لازم يكون في عندي verb ing. صح يا أول؟ طبعا. طبعا المادة أنتوا you already have taken it, but we are making a quick revision for it. We have was or were. Why? Because it is past and continuous with the verb ing. We have here 3 examples. From these examples, you're going to understand the function. أنا كتير بيهمني طلاب الأول ثانوي. When you understand a grammatical structure, you have to know the function of this grammatical structure عشان تكون easy for you to just like know the examples or let's say memorize them. Now it says here, I was studying yesterday at 8 o'clock. Yesterday at 8 o'clock. I was studying yesterday at 8 o'clock. While you were studying, I was sleeping. And I was cooking when you came. Okay. These sentences, we use the past continuous. Was plus verb ing. Where plus verb ing. Was plus verb ing. Was plus verb ing. What's the difference between all of them? I was studying yesterday. If you stop at yesterday, then this sentence is extremely wrong because إذا بدك تحكي بس هون yesterday فبالتالي I studied لازم. Yes, an action that happened at a specific time in the past and it's already done. Like in here, I added here a specific time to the specific time. So remember, specific time, I'm going to use the past continuous, okay? So this sentence, the first function of the past continuous is to talk about an action that was happening at a specific time in the past, at a specific time in the past. What about the second sentence? While you were studying, I was sleeping. While you were studying, I was sleeping. شو هون بيطلع عندك هنا؟ How many actions do we have? Very good. We have two actions, studying and sleeping. Okay, studying and sleeping. طب what happened here? Two actions. Both were happening in the past. And the key word for them while. فبالتالي انت whenever you see while, you're going to use the past continuous. Okay? Two actions. Two of them were happening at the same time. Let's move to the next. Let's move to the next sentence. I was cooking when you came. How many actions do we have here? We have two actions. Very good. We have was cooking and came. Now have a look at came. Came, this is verb 2. معناته past simple. Whereas was cooking, بما إنه عندي أنا هنا was وفي عندي هنا verb ing, معناته I'm talking about past continuous. تمام. طب what happened here? عندنا هنا two actions. One was happening while the other one interrupted it. اعتبر حالك إنك أنت you're walking in a street, you were walking and then suddenly something interrupted it. So one was happening and the other one interrupted. Okay. If you want to change from affirmative into negative, then definitely you're going to use only not. Not like we did with the past simple. Now we used a helping verb اللي هو did, and we changed the verb into base verb. Now you don't need to do that. For example, I was studying yesterday at 8 o'clock. If you want to change it into negative, then it becomes I was not studying yesterday. So basically the keywords, خلينا نحطهم هنا. The keywords are while, when, طبعا remember that when I use always verb to with it, and also there's as soon as. As soon as I was walking, he came in. أكتر إشي basically الفاميليا اللي هم الوايل والwhen, and also اللي هي yesterday at 8 o'clock or yesterday with a specific time, of course. طيب. Moving to my favorite tense, actually, I like it. Let's have a look at it. هلا بيجي بحكي لك هنا this tense is called past perfect. انت لازم تكون عارف انه البرفكت معناته انا لازم استخدم verb 3 اللي احنا بنسميه past participle. This is the abbreviation for it. Because it is past, then definitely I'm going to use had. لأنه البرفكت معروف إيش هو عبارة عن has or have or had. صح؟ نستخدم معاه verb 3. هذا للpresent وهذا للpast. طب شو هو فكرته؟ What is it exactly? طيب. This is the timeline. You're standing here. So this is present. معناته أنا هون عم بحكي عن past. How many actions do we have? Of course, we have two actions. We have the action eat and we have the action of go. طيب. Both of them happened in the past. صح مزبوط. التنتين صاروا بالماضي. لكن one of them happened before the other one. معناته هيكون واحدة فيهم is older. مزبوط يعني. You and your brother, for example, you're twin, okay? You're twins, and فيش بيكون عندك minutes between both of you. فبيطلع واحد أكبر من الثاني بدقيقة. 1 minute. Same goes to here, okay? Eat and go. Which one happened before the other one? Of course had. فبدي أجي أحكي هنا had حتاخد عندك اللي هي had eaten وgo حيكون went. طب how can I use this? How can I use the two actions in one sentence? We're going to see now. How am I going to use one sentence that has both of these actions? You're going to use either after or before. طبعا هدول هم the most important keyword for the past perfect. طيب. After هيجي بقى دائما وراها دائما all the time. After هيجي وراها اللي هي the past perfect, the older action. فبالتالي after I had eaten بعد ما أنا أكلت معناته this action happened first. What did you do? I went out. طب before دائما بتاخد محل هي الverb to فبالتالي بصير before I went I had eaten. إذا بدنا نحطها بهاي الطريقة حتحط لي إياها أنت هيك الشورت كات after بيجي وراها had زائد past participle and before it takes verb to. طيب. And I have written an example over there at the beginning actually when I said I graduated صح؟ هيك حكينا in 2003. طيب this is what? Past simple. Verb to. Exactly. طيب. There's a big difference between this sentence and the sentence that I'm going to write here. لما باجي بحكي لك by 2003, comma, you can't use graduated by 2003 I graduated لأنه by here it means before 2003 فبالتالي you're going to use past perfect. very good يا أول. I had graduated. Okay, by 2003 I had graduated. There's a big difference between saying I graduated in, this is a specific time so that's why you use past simple, and by 2003 which means before 2000 بحلولها أنا بكون خلصت. Okay, before 2003 بكون أنا I'm done with this action. With this we come to the end of this class for today. We have taken the past the narrative tenses, all of them. You can have a look at the videos later on and you can, if you have any question, don't hesitate. طبعا this is the grammar for unit 8 اللي هي narrative tenses. Now for next time inshallah, next class, I'm going to begin with unit 9. Don't forget to download all the worksheet from the e-learning from the website. I'm going to begin with unit 9. But before I begin with unit 9 and the causative, I'm going to explain for you اللي هو gerunds and infinitives. It's really important for you because you're going to take it next year اللي هو بالتوجيهي. فبالتالي I'm going to make a class about 3 minutes or 5 minutes talking about the verbs followed by gerunds and infinitive. Then we're going to move to talk about unit 9. Don't forget that the causative is extremely important because you're going to take it next year. That would be the rest of the semester. يعني حيكون unit 9 and then we're going to move to unit 10. Unit 10 also will talk about modal verbs of possibility in the past. He must, could. Most of them you have taken them, but we're going to explain it. Have a wonderful day full of love, happiness, and joy. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask me. And please go to the website and download all of the worksheet that we have uploaded over there. Thank you very much. So if I want to, so basically when we talk about the past perfect حكينا إحنا by 2003 I had graduated. إذا بدي أعملها negative it will become by 2003 I hadn't graduated. Okay, you just only add اللي هي to it اللي هي not. طب so if you want to make a quick revision for the past tenses that we have taken, حكينا في عنا something called past simple, حكينا في عنا past continuous, حكينا في عنا past perfect. طبعا في واحد رابع اوكي اللي حكينا عنه بالبداية past perfect continuous. هنحكي عنه just in a minute. Past simple we said that's an action that happened at a specific time in the past. لازم يكون في عندك specific time just like yesterday and so on and so forth. Past continuous اللي هي لازم يكون في عندك was or were plus verb ing. Past perfect you have to use had plus past participle. طب what about past perfect continuous يا أول؟ طبعا remember that all of these tenses we have mentioned and talked about them. يعني فأنت عبارة عن revision, but because tenses are really important for you, so you need to just like make revision after revision. Now, past perfect continuous هو عبارة عن استخدام had plus been plus verb ing. طيب شو يا مزدانة هيك يعني شو؟ باجي بحكي لك I had been waiting for 3 hours when the bus came. طيب في عندك هنا when، في عندك هنا verb to، صح؟ طيب دائما أنا بستخدم هنا for، since و all، هستخدمهم دائما present or past perfect continuous. أول علمي إحنا أخذنا عن هاي الشغلات كلياتها so it's just like a revision for you. Okay؟ طيب فبالتالي مجرد ما أشوف for هعرف إنه I'm going to use present perfect continuous. المفروض تكون عندك have or has been waiting. But I continue for the rest of the sentence. I have here came, so I'm talking about the past. فبالتالي حتصير past perfect continuous.